last round of the season. So, first thing, thanks to everyone. We are leading the championship. So, Jimmy and Gordie's car has to perform well today. We are also fighting for third in the championship with Ed and Chris. So those two cars, if there are decisions to be made, I will make decisions over. Those two cars will take priority today. So everybody knows that.
Looking at the standings at the moment, it's quite easy to suggest that it's all to play for between just two teams at the top. But you know, as Murray Walker once said, anything can happen, and it usually does. So there's drivers and teams lying in third and fourth at the moment that if results go their way, they could just nip it at the end. So it's really interesting.
Standard championship, all still to decide.
Well, we're currently sitting first in the championship by I think 19 points. And there is a mathematical possibility that we can win in race one if things fall our way. I'm not going to say what we can win because I feel like there's some sort of bad juju going around. I don't want to put it out there, but yeah, there's a possibility. But you know what, we're not really aiming for that. We're aiming to try and just win it normally. So I think you can lose sleep doing the permutation. So yeah, we're going to just again try and run as best race as possible.
So we just had qualifying here at Donington Park for round 6, and Charles did a very good job in the sort of drying conditions to go put it on pole. We are currently sitting second in the championship, and first obviously is where we want to finish. We're 19 points behind Gordie and Jimmy at the moment to try and win the overall. What's at stake is winning another Praga R1. For the car, our main competition is the number 4 car, Ben Stone and Rob Wheldon. So we're starting at the front, they're starting at the back. Obviously that's good for us to start with. We get an extra point for qualifying there on pole as well. So yeah, it's going in the right direction.
Unfortunately we're down in P9, but it's just disappointing. Obviously challenging conditions for Ben, and unfortunately Ben had contact with the university car, which put an end to qualifying. They cut qualifying short by 8.5 minutes. But it is what it is, it's happened. Can't do anything about it, we've just got to get on with it. And I'm pretty confident I can come through and give Scott a fucking hard time.
No, so we're 4th in the championship. We're only, I think, 21 points off second. But where Jimmy and Gordie are Praga drivers, they can't win the prizes. So even if they win the championship, they can't win the car. It's almost a championships now for second place, which is between RAW, Mittell Cars and ourselves. So if we can get a solid result in the first race today, then we're right back in it.
It is Praga time here at Donington Park, the final weekend of the Praga Cup. This will be a 1-hour race. Here we go, the pack is unleashed and down towards that first corner at Redgate they go. It's a good start by Gordie, Mutch on the outside of Heaven. He's taken the lead around the outside.
Yeah, come on in, mate. Come on, mate. Now fuck off. Now get out there.
Mittell slots into second place. That looks like it's Ed Bridle, number 84, coming through on the inside at the Craner curves into second. The flying start as expected by Ben Collins. That's not the car we normally see. Yep. Oh, the problem's there. That's Mittell. Spins around in the 77 car. That's one of the cars that's a contender for the championship, and he's not having the best of starts to this race, sadly. I didn't quite see if there was any contact there, but it's Gordie Mutch who leads the way in the number 87 car as they complete the lap. 85 team. Scott Mittell is in the pits to check the damage after that off.
Didn't see any flat spots, the wheels all felt attached.
You're not going to win anything in the fucking pits.
So Mittell had a spin at the Melbourne hairpin, and he just literally came in to check the car.
They're sending the boss back out onto track, and he's going to join. Like in the middle of the field there, a lap down. We're back underway. Mutch leads it then from Ben Collins up there in second place. Chasing them is the number 4 of Rob Wheldon.
Can he stay out there till the pit window?
No is the answer.
Meanwhile, I can tell you Scott Mittell has pulled back into the pit lane, so it looks like he may have damaged the Praga suspension there, the number 77. Ed Bridle has dropped back slightly after his very fast start into 6th position. The Gap is up to 0.86 of a second. New fastest lap for Gordie Mutch, 1:30.46. There is Scott Mittell, we saw us rejoin just in front of the leaders.
He's got to go all the way to the very last lap of the pit window in case there's a safety car.
There's Ed Bridle, the number 84 car, being chased down by Shane Kelly in the number 11, the former F3 Cup star. Still Gordie Mutch out front in the 87 car, doing exactly what he needs to do to stay ahead of Scott Mittell in the points. Mittell is still going into the right-hander at the Wheldon Hare. Bit of a lock-up there for Gordie Mutch. Trying to respond to the pressure from Ben Collins. Hopefully he's not going to pressure him into a mistake.
I must ask him, why is Ben putting so much pressure on? I know he's got RAW behind him, just not put him under pressure.
There are the leaders. They close right up now. Collins on the back of Gordie Mutch. Collins has still got the fastest lap of the race.
Come on, Gordie.
Flat, 1:29 flat. Told him he needs to get a wriggle on and get the fastest lap.
Wheldon still pushing hard. He's lapping in the 1:29 as well, so he's right on the pace of the leaders. Not quite able to catch them though. Are they going to come into the pits this time? No, they're too busy with this battle at the front of the field. Oh, is that a problem for Rob Wheldon? Smoke out of the back of the number 4. Could be collapsed suspension, and the signal from the mechanic is that that's a retirement. Yep, he's saying no, that's too badly damaged. It looks like damage to the rear of the car, so whether it's collapsed suspension or...
Unfortunately, Rob Wheldon decided that he didn't want to break into the hairpin on the first lap and just tried to take us out, which is what he did. Just ran clean to the back of us and pushed us off. So it's disappointing, to be honest. Hopefully they'll get what they deserve for that. I mean, anything can happen still, we're still in the race, so we'll see where we are.
Push back! Push back!
As the 85 car pulls in, the 87 car pulls out. Jimmy Broadbent's head off back into the race.
Jimmy, stay off the curbs. The car's handling fine, but stay off the curbs at the chicane. Off the curbs at the chicane.
So everybody has now made their mandatory stop. But meanwhile, Jay Morton is leaving the pit. Is he going to get out in front of Broadbent? Here we go. It's going to be very close. I think Broadbent's just about done enough. And the 87 car keeps its lead. Charles Hall is still going out there. He's a couple of laps behind, but doing his best to keep that number 77 car running and try and get some points towards the championship. Here is our race leader, the number 87, with 20 minutes of the race to go. Sort of misfortune befalling their championship rivals. It's all played into the hands of the 87 team. Jay Morton is driving fantastically in that 85 car. Look, he's really pushing. Oh, he goes wide there. The 87 and the 85, the two Praga factory entries through the Fogarty S's for the last time.
Well done, mate. Champions. Champions.
Jimmy Broadbent and Gordie Mutch take their 4th win of the season, but all credit to Jay Morton. What a fantastic drive for second place. Less than a second behind at the flag. Third place goes to Ed and Chris Bridle in the number 84.
Never cease.
quite sure what they're celebrating for, yeah. So we were fighting with RAW for the car, but that's over now basically. RAW hit the back of us, let's just put it like that, into the Melbourne loop on the first lap, spinning us out of the race, flat spotting all our tyres and damaging the rear of the car. Unfortunately we carried on and got to the finish and came away with a 5th. In terms of winning the car, we just need to finish the race basically. So it's against the Bridles. They need to finish first or second to be in with a shot of it. If they finish first with fastest lap, we just need to finish. If they finish second, we need to finish half the race, basically. It's a shame it played out like that, to be honest. It would have been nice to just have a fair fight and be racing them rather than anyone trying to push anyone else off. But, I mean, in my opinion, I think he pushed us off on purpose. He swears blind that he didn't, but it's what it is.
He apologised on camera again.
Yeah.
Obviously, the mood in the camp's a little bit flat, as can be imagined. You know, yesterday was frustrating. We had a good race car, a really good race car, and I came through pretty strongly. I had contact with Scott, and I've said it to them, and I'll say it again. It was completely unintentional. I know how it looks, and it was completely unintentional. I tried to avoid it, he caught me out by braking as early as he did. So, for the record, apologies to Mittell for the contact. But having said that, moving forward, went through the chicane, and unfortunately, both rear push rods failed on me. So that was that really. It put us out of the race. The amount of damage done was just not feasible to repair during the race to get some points, and I believe that probably means the championship's also out of our reach now.
Race yesterday was a little bit hectic. A few of our championship rivals didn't finish or had a bad result. Managed to capitalise and get a P3. So yeah, let's see what we can do in the race today, and fingers crossed we can either stay third in the championship or improve into second place. We've got to catch the Mittell Cars. But yeah, we'd have to finish in the top 3 and the Mittell car have to DNF. It's a long shot and don't wish any misfortune on them, but yeah, they need to DNF and we have a top 3. But if we just finish the race, we get P3 in the championship.
Provisional Praga Cup champion, yeah. We points-wise, we now cannot be caught. They can tie our points, Mittell. We have a 33-point gap, and if they had a clean sweep today, they get 33 points. We'd be tied, but we'd win because we have more second places. So yeah, basically it's done, and I haven't really processed it yet, to be honest.
Yesterday was awesome. It was a fantastic way to finish the season, and it's a double header, and for the first time all year we get to start where we finish the first race. So this time we start in the front row, which is unheard of for us. Jay's starting the race, so that'll be his first front row start. I definitely sense there's a bit of relief that we've taken all the performance potential and brought it together into one race yesterday. When we both drove hard, the car was fast, the boys did a great job, and we got a result that we deserved to get. You know, in terms of what we brought to it, could have won it yesterday. We were in the hunt to do so. So that does roll into today for sure. And I think Jay's got his tail up, and that's the way we like it.
When we were looking at the timing for this race weekend, we were given the option of running at the end of the day, which would have been awful, would have been cold and wet, or just after lunch and do a grid walk, and I thought that was a fantastic idea, so we said let's do the grid walk, and wasn't sure how it would go, but it's amazing. It's great to see actually. It's a really nice way to end the season. It's obviously built up a lot of interest in what we're doing. This is proof of how much interest there is.
Time to go. Praga Cup racing for the final time in 2022. The revs are up, the lights go out now, and we're underway. Front row, it's the 87 and Jimmy Broadbent who takes the lead. A bit of a slow getaway for Jay Morton. Broadbent leads into Redgate for the first time. It's Chris Bridle, and there's cars off into the gravel already. There's cars going everywhere. Chippy Westmail's in there, Jay Morton's in there, and at least 4 cars involved. Safety car is coming out. Chaos on the first corner, unfortunately. It's the track getting damp again, I think, that has caught out a few of the drivers there.
So the car didn't get hit?
Maybe a tap, just ping, but it was okay.
Well, I didn't really see it, but I think, I think Jay got a little bit overrun into the first corner, and then maybe someone touched him and spun him round. But he got out of the gravel, so we're still in the race at the back.
Underway, bit of a slow getaway for the 77 there of Charles Hall. The Mittell Cars entry in trouble again, I wonder.
Caught in some incident, turn 1. The issue we've got at the moment is
we're stuck in gear in the Hall car, so yeah, it's going to be an interesting race.
The 87 that leads them through, the Fanatec car ahead of the 84 of RAW Motorsport, the number 4 of Ben Stone, the RAW Motorsport car from Ben Stone. He starts at the back of this grid, he's up into second place, he's got ahead of Chris Bridle. Whoops, Ben Stone's gone off, runs wide through Goddard. Has he rejoined there or has he pulled over? Didn't quite see there. Bridle's gone through to third. Ben Stone has pulled over, I think, coming out. He wasn't just going off wide, he's pulled up. Oh, something's broken on the number 4 car. That's a double non-finish for that car this weekend. And they won't get the runners-up spot in the points, that team, unfortunately. Shane Kelly up the inside at Redgate takes the lead. It's all happening in the early stages of this final race of the season. There's your leader. Over the line comes Shane Kelly. Broadbent second, 3 seconds down. Jay Morton, I caught a glimpse of there off as well. He's spun. He sent somebody else over the infield. That's the 86 of Dominic Paul. Jay Morton got wide through Redgate. He spun. Look out. Dominic Paul goes off in avoiders. That was good avoiding tactics by the ex-British GT man. He's still stuck in the grass there. They can now make their mandatory stops. Imagine we'll see 1 or 2 cars in early. Say that becomes Jimmy Broadbent, Gordie Mutch.
We're stuck in gear, follow on from yesterday really. When Scott got knocked off, it's flat spotted the tyres, so we were stuck in gear then, so we couldn't really pit. We were in 5th. Second green flag lap today. I just managed to get it in 4th, so at least I've got a bit of coming out. A bit more power coming out the hairpins, but I had to just take it dead easy down the straight. We just need halfway points, I believe, or at least if we can get it home where we are now, that's what we need really.
Third at the moment, came in second. Gordie just jumped ahead of Ed, but with RAW going off, I think we're guaranteed third in the championship, so super happy with that. Just got to be nice and consistent now and keep it on the island.
Kelly continues to charge. He wants to build as big a lead as he can. Ed Bridle, the quicker of the 2 brothers, ahead of the 87, so he's got ahead of Gordie Mutch. Well, I think the University of Wolverhampton team have done enough. Shane Kelly is still in the lead.
P1, so I've got a good pace, careful, fastest on track. Well, not now, but only about half a second off the fastest lap. 8 seconds ahead, got 10 minutes remaining. Keeping this pace up, we should win this. We've got this back.
The lead gap is 9 seconds between Shane Kelly and Gordie Mutch. The car has dropped away now, nearly 11 seconds down on Gordie Mutch, so the lead gap between second and third opening up.
I don't know. Don't want to sound nasty, but it's nice to see him come in, so it takes a bit of pressure off, I guess, but we're just focusing on finishing. Scott's changing gear. I'm nervous as hell, but we're hanging in.
Gosh, mate. I think this is an interesting send-off for 2022. Pretty sad that there was an issue for the riders. I think their boost pipe came off or something, so they've now dropped from being, I think, 3rd to 5th or 6th. And the Shane Kelly car, the Wolves, did get a stop-go for too quick in the pit lane, so we've inherited the lead somehow. Just had a stop-go, so we're still in P2, so it's a good position for this weekend, still getting a podium.
That's disaster for the University of Wolverhampton. Gordie Mutch will go through and he's in the lead. What can Shane Kelly salvage? He's only got 5.5 minutes to try and close the deficit back up again. There is the 77, Scott Mittell. Originally they're going to take the runners-up spot in the championship. Of course, as the Fanatec car is a factory Praga team, they cannot win the grand prize overall of a Praga R1. There's the board out. The last lap of the Praga Cup season 2022 is upon us. What is definitely the final corner this time. The number 87 Fanatec Team Praga of Jimmy Broadbent and Gordie Mutch. coming in to take his second win of the weekend at the Praga Cup Championship for 2022. Kelly comes over in second for the University of Northampton. Third, Ben Collins and Jay Morton. Great weekend they've had with the second and third, close to their first win yesterday. Self a car!
Right, Scott, well done, mate. Awesome drive. Yeah, sorry it wasn't the win, but listen, mate. Awesome, yeah. Bring it home. Well done. Nervous one. A very nervous weekend, but we did it. Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, we done it, done the job. Weird race, drove around the slowest I've ever driven a race car in my life, I think, but just kept off every curb, changed gear anytime I saw any sort of red light, and then just brought it home really. So yeah, weird race, but doing what we need to do.
It seems to be a boost pipe that had come off the car, so nothing to do with the team. It's one of those things that's happened. The boys did a really good job to fix it and get us back out, but I think we still end up third in the Drivers' Championship and in the Team Championship. So not a bad end to the year considering how it was going at the first half. So yeah, not a great race, but a good end to the year.
One of them, yeah. I think we probably finished the race second, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Yeah. Happy with that.
I'm good, mate. I'm just like a one big exhale now, you know. Good year. Good year.